The Bayonetta boycott is the perfect example on why everyone should wait until both parties say their stories. And if they do go to court, wait for the court case to come to a hearing because everyone that jumped the gun and sided with this lady just might be wrong. And me seemingly defending her might go wrong too because she might come out with some more ammo and then Capcom could come out with some more ammo. But let's look at everything we have here and think objectively. So right here, we got the boy, mogul male, Ludwig, the handsome fellow, covering the Bayonetta 3 boycott. So let's just hear his take on it real quick. That
Needs to explain that she's just insulted. They offered her $4,000 to voice Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3,
which now we know isn't necessarily true.
a very successful franchise that's in Super Smash Brothers that definitely has a lot more money than they're giving off.
Which is
She
true.
even said in the video that they made $450 million. I don't know how much insight she would have. Seems like an approximation based off sales and not necessarily like a profit loss statement. But they've definitely been a very, very successful video game franchise. You know, even some huge creators are backing up Helena. And she did ask for basically one thing: to boycott Bayonetta 3. That's the whole goal of the video, is she doesn't want people to play it. She doesn't want to try to get paid for it. It's too late. The game comes out in 2 weeks, so they obviously got someone else. But boycott the game and instead support charity.
So yeah, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead with the latest news. This was like 3 days ago. This video came out 3 days ago. So we also have Dreamcast Guy. I like Dreamcast Guy's videos, but he came out with a video saying he was going to boycott Bayonetta 3. Now, hey, look, if you want to boycott whatever, that's fine. But if you're a big creator and you voice that you're boycotting this without knowing the full facts, you end up having to say sorry to your community and this and that. And it just makes you look bad. But I understand emotions come heavy. You know, you really like something and then you think somebody's getting treated unfairly, big corporations not treating a little guy right. And it makes you want to rise your torches and pitchforks. Totally understandable, totally normal. But let's see how Dreamcast Guy goes about this. Also, I've seen a little bit of this. I do not condone death threats. I think it's childish, immature, and I think you need to go outside and touch some grass if that's the case. But let's get into Dreamcast Guy's video.
Well, this is going to be an absolute train wreck, but it's time to discuss the details of hashtag boycott Bayonetta. It feels like there has been this big momentum over the course of the last 72 hours against Platinum Games and the developers over at Nintendo that are working on Bayonetta. Now, this all began because of some statements released by the original voice actress.
Yes.
Helena Taylor is the person that, in my opinion, really breathed life into Bayonetta in the first place. She voiced the character.
She's the voice of the character. That's the lady, right? So let's fast forward a little bit.
That they only offered her $4,000 total for Bayonetta 3.
Which
no
now we know
residuals, no
isn't the case.
royalties, no toy sales, no drama.
Fast forward.
Quite a bit of debate. People really discussing the idea of how much is fair pay. Are voice actors ever compensated?
But let's fast forward to what happened.
Because honestly, it did look like they were completely screwing her over.
And we only had one side of the story.
Now, it turns out that she lied. I still want to make it clear, I'm definitely not going to review this game. I'm probably not going to buy it. Ever since I put up my video saying I was going to boycott the game, I have been flooded with hate, threats, people literally telling me they had wished I had died when I was homeless on the streets. So,
Which is absolutely deplorable. Everybody has the right to have their own opinion. Just because you don't like his opinion. And I understand the game fans are like, oh, if you boycott the game, I might not get another Bayonetta. I might not get Bayonetta 4. Okay. This is a human being. Bayonetta's a character. You don't get another game, sure, but a human losing their lives over a game, that's silly.
I'm probably never going to talk about Bayonetta 3 ever again, but let's dig into the interesting lies she told. So here we have, over here on, God, I just want to say, the people who sent me death threats, you people are scum. I was wrong. I'm fully willing to admit that I was wrong to take her word. I just could not imagine a woman would tell such an obvious, terrible lie.
It was obvious, but you still fell for the lie, and other people did too because emotions.
But anyways, back to the story itself. Excuse my anger. Literally, having hundreds of
It's
people with
understandable.
like stupid Nintendo profile pics tell me to kill myself was very deeply aggravating. But now let's go back to the stupid video game story. Last weekend, Bayonetta's former voice actress called for fans to boycott the game because of low pay. Her Twitter videos went very viral, but the full story is much more complicated.
Exactly.
Platinum offered Helena Taylor between $3,000 and $4,000 per session for at least 5 recording sessions, which means she was probably going to get paid minimum $20,000.
Which is pretty good, honestly. And I say pretty good because, oh, $20,000, that's a lot. And it only takes about a weekend to do this much work. But yeah, this is the main character, the main protagonist getting 20,000. Imagine all the side protagonists, they're not going to get that much. There's no way they're going to get that much. So for her to only get 20,000, I say only, like 20,000, it sounds like a lot. Actuality, 20,000 in 2 weeks, yeah, that's a lot. That's crazy. That's pretty good, right? But that's gonna get taxed, okay? She's not just gonna get 20K like just straight rip. She's gonna have to pay taxes on that. And 20K for the main protagonist of the third game in a franchise, it's honestly not that good. Honestly, not that good. Now, the deal she wanted, supposedly the deal she wanted was a 6-figure deal. Now, 6-figure deal for the main protagonist voice actress. 6 figures, maybe not. 20K, I don't think that's a good deal either. So somewhere around somewhere in the middle, I think would be a good business deal. So 50K. 50K, half of $100,000. Honestly, that'd probably be the sweet spot deal for 2 weeks for your main protagonist voice actress. But let's continue with the story.
According to 2 people familiar with the deal and documentation viewed by Bloomberg. Now, this is the important part. This is not he said, she said. This is actual legal contracts they viewed. This is the truth. This is definitely what's actually going on. And she did just flat out lie. In response to this, she said that in response, the people said Taylor asked for a 6-figure fee and residuals. Negotiations fell apart. So, I mean, she was asking for at least $100,000 and 1% of all boxed sales. Much higher of a counter offer, basically asking for 5 times as much as she was originally paid. Taylor denies this account in an email to Bloomberg and says that it is an absolute lie and said Platinum is trying to save their ass.
So we need her to release the receipts on her end because we don't know. All we're hearing he said, she said. Of course, the big company might not show everything. Why would they? It's none of our business, right? It's a business deal. It's supposed to be between these 2 parties. There's a reason why she signed an NDA. She signed a non-disclosure agreement for a reason. But now it's out in the open. She's in breach of contract, this and that. She's most likely going to go to court. And honestly, I don't see how this is a win for her at all. Like they said that she wanted 100,000. We don't know how much she really wanted unless she shows us. Maybe she did want 100,000 and she's saving her own ass, but let's continue.
Taylor's videos have received more than 9.5 million views on Twitter and led to a deluge of calls from fans and pundits to boycott Bayonetta 3.
Imagine if she put this video on YouTube, 9.5 million views, honey. 9.5 million views on YouTube, you would have already got your 20,000 and some more.
But accounts and evidence reviewed by Bloomberg make it clear that those videos were not the whole story. Taylor's videos also led to a barrage of Twitter vitriol and harassment towards the new voice actress for Bayonetta.
Because the fans are crazy. They sent death threats to Dreamcast Guy. I only imagine what they said to Jennifer Hale. Oh, you want to be Bayonetta? Oh, you took her spot. You're greedy, this and that.
Jennifer Hale, who absolutely, she does not deserve any of the hate she got. It's ridiculous.
Of course
it's unlikely that the full story will get much traction, as many eyeballs as the original Twitter videos. However, disinformation is important to know. That's part of why I'm making this video.
Twitter is not a real place.
I do want to correct my own misinformation.
It's good.
I believed her. I mean, it's difficult to even imagine that somebody would nuke their own career.
Amber Heard. Have you ever heard of Amber Heard? Dreamcast Guy.
Helena Taylor is never going to work ever again. I mean, she's screwed. She exploded any chance she ever had of talking into a mic pretty much ever again for a paycheck. It was difficult for me to imagine this because not only do I really love her work, but career explosion. I'm trying not to say the S word anymore, but it's just like
sabotage.
It's weird that she would just destroy her own reputation, her own contracts, her own future.
Yeah. So I think honestly, the rest of this video is going to be linked down below if you want to hear the rest of Dreamcast Guy's rant. But that's pretty much the news so far. Bayonetta actress says they gave her a low ball. Platinum comes out and say, well, it wasn't really that low of a ball, at the most $20,000, which I think is still a low ball, right? It's not as low as the voice actress was saying, but 20,000 for your main protagonist, I think 20,000 is pretty low. That's just me. I know my worth. She should know hers. 20,000 is low. Now, if she thinks she's worth 100,000, that's between her and Platinum Games. Platinum Games doesn't think she's worth 100,000, so they hired somebody else. She says she didn't ask for 100,000. They're just lying. So until she comes out with some more facts, this is all we have to go off of. Now, in my opinion, the whole thing is a shit show for every creator that publicly announced they're going to boycott Bayonetta 3 because now more facts are coming out and now they look crazy. I am not condoning the whole hate towards these creators that voice their opinions. The same way that these people said they're going to boycott Bayonetta 3 is the same way I looked at Casey Neistat when he said he's voting for, what's her name, Hillary Clinton. He says, I'm voting for Hillary Clinton, and you should make every creator tell you who they're voting for. Absolutely wrong. It's none of our business. Whether you boycott or you vote for Hillary Clinton or you vote for Donald Trump, none of our business. I don't care. Personally, I don't care. It's none of my fucking business. It's not going to get me paid. It's not going to, nothing. But for you guys to voice that you're doing this, you're doing that, obviously some people are going to hate you for it. People are going to hate you for whatever you do, right? But try and stay, especially if you're like a news personality, you should probably just wait for all the facts to come out before you pick a side. I'm not picking a side in this because I don't care. Okay, Bayonetta hasn't been on PlayStation since Bayonetta 1. I haven't got to play Bayonetta 2 because it's on a Nintendo, it's on the Wii U, maybe on the Switch now. And Bayonetta 3 is going to be on the Switch. If it's coming to PlayStation 5, dope, awesome. I can't wait to try it out because I have no feelings for this whatsoever. It's a company being a company. It's a creator trying to be a creator. It's going to be clashing, especially when there's money involved. But with all that being said, that's my opinions. What do you guys think about the whole controversy, news, and all that? Is it that big a deal? Yes or no? Link below, comment section, all that good stuff. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.